Hello and welcome to All Talk No Dice, the worst excuse for a D&D show you can find online. We are very happy to be here broadcasting again, and this time we are live, so we all hope you're cozy and ready for tonight's game, and just as excited as us to enjoy the show completely live every Monday night right here at 7pm GMT. If you're not able to stick around or catch the live games, the VOD will be available immediately on this Twitch channel, and we will still be broadcasting every episode onto our YouTube channel, All Talk No Dice, every Wednesday at 1pm GMT. So don't forget to follow our channels and social media for updates going forward. Now, with all of that said, from last we left off, the Companions of Fate were ambushed by heavy gunfire and even heavier artillery from a mysterious unknown creature. Gerald had magically disappeared and ported off out of vision, and Theron took his place, shocked and confused. You all found yourself questioning where the scenario had led you. Black powder was ignited as shot after shot of iron pallets hurled and crashed through the walls, window and door of the small abandoned shack that you had all hunkered down in. After you had escaped with your lives intact, gasping and panting for breath, you made it miles across the Crawler's Respite, heading northward and away from any potential further ambush. After some very interesting ways to save weight and time, you all came to the pitch-black, biting cold of the desert night, finding a scar in the land. A once filled and dried-out riverbed ravine, stretching a mile from side to side and stretching in length miles upon miles out of view. As you all stood at the foot of this chasm, the gentle blue and grey light casting down from the moon and stars high in the sky, you began to hear a gentle, sludgy, sloppy gargle and grumble. Tara dropped 2 torches down into the darkness, one of which illuminated a beige, slimy mud that almost caught the torch and swallowed it, and the light itself. As you all decided against heading back to Brenton and made your way along the ravine, heading northwest, hoping to reach a suspicious symbol on the hand-drawn map of the continent you had found inside Cruel's shack, you all saw something in the distant starlight against the ravine wall. Now, as you all carefully observe the ravine edge, you find a small wooden rope bridge that is affixed to the edge of a 20-foot overhang. The bridge itself stretches away from you, heading far into the pitch-black night as the starlight fades from view. A gentle grumbling gargle heard deep within the ravine. This is where we pick it up. So, all of you just hear as the sludge just gargles and almost boils slightly.
I know we travelled westward of this massive ravine area. Does it still sound like it's underneath, like directly down, or does it?
Yeah, right now, as all of you are, as Tara, Rayloff, and Theron, as you three are just off about 50 feet or so, you can still hear this faint grumble as if you were to face the ravine. Currently, as you moved along northwest slightly for a little bit, you hear it to the left of you, to this right in front of you, and to the right. Just all along this ravine, you hear that.
Lovely.
You hear a Theron as he's just looking out. So, what are we doing, guys?
Can't you see the over there? The little rope bridge? Looks like it's sticking out over there.
And you see him take his glasses off.
We might have to move a bit closer. I'll kind of like gesture the Doom Whisper to kind of go generally that way.
Right, let's do that then. And Theron begins just walking ahead.
Yeah.
And Tara and Rayloff, both of you, as Theron begins to take the first few steps, with each footfall in the sand, as his foot comes up, you just hear a as you see slight electricity just coming off of the soles of his feet.
Theron?
Yeah.
Do you know what's happening?
And you see the electricity begin to build from his feet up towards his legs. Guys!
Theron?
I don't feel good.
Stop! Yeah, well,
Ah!
stop doing what you
And
do.
you just hear him exclaim loudly, almost in pain and discomfort, before you see... and the electricity once again take over as the form just bends to one knee. And as the electricity just builds and illuminates all around you in the bright cyan light, blue and white, before it just dulls down to a smaller figure on one knee, clutching his stomach. The lightning just... Gerald, you blink once. And you're not on that ship anymore. You're not in your cot. You're not around the rest of the crew. You spoke to the first mate only moments ago. And almost immediately, this weird pulling and sinking sensation in your stomach slowly kicks you and then begins to fade as you feel slightly breathless. But you look around. You're not in that cozy cot talking amongst yourself and the crew and all the deckhands and performing and making them laugh and telling stupid jokes in the darkness. You're in soft sand in the pitch black night, and the moon and the stars raining light upon you. And you just hear a gentle
Looks like that drink's gonna have to wait then. Ah. So hey,
Wouldn't be
I'm back.
sociable. Yeah.
Have you and Theron got like a thing that you like to just switch with?
Well, if we're related, it'd be through a very distant relatives.
Where exactly did you go?
Well, after the brief flash of bright light, ended up on was it a big ship?
galleon. Trade ship.
A very large ship. I've quickly befriended the crew and first mate, and I have just partied and drank my way across the seas.
Which seas?
Do you know where you were going?
You know, I never thought I'd go and ask.
Okay.
So, you get teleported onto a boat. You have no idea where you are. You don't think to ask where you are.
Isn't it better to make friends first, before they do anything to you?
Understandably.
Probably it would have come up in some conversation as you were making friends.
Too many eyes like this form too much.
I see.
That you were too busy with others then. Making more than friends. Is that right?
Can you blame me?
Yes.
I'm just gonna be like, go on, like, go back. Then
Do you really prefer where you came from than us?
Oh yes, our journey was so good. We disappeared. we found out that it wasn't a big scary weapon that was aiming at us, but it was actually a party, and they were trying to find out who was there. And there was a lot of confetti, so much so that the house was destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh,
It all went off in a blast. It was a blast.
I could have made it. Ah, okay, fine. Maybe I've missed this place.
Yeah.
And Theron drunk a little too much. Twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But where was Duke? Wasn't he spying on us before? Where was he?
So
I don't think that was Duke.
no,
Oh.
no.
Mm.
There was another party, wasn't there, Ralof? That blew the confetti for us all.
I'm getting the impression it wasn't confetti.
It was not confetti. No, you were correct. Yeah. We almost died, and you decided to fuck off somewhere else.
I had no control over this. But it sounds like I probably would have died.
Do you know what the ship was called, or it was any indication of what? Who was in charge, or?
It was definitely a trader ship. I can tell you that.
What would they trade?
Did they know Theron?
That is another quick question.
Do I actually know anything of their goods?
You caught just a brief conversation of a weird, strange welcome, as if there might be a few stowaways that they could really care less that were on, not knowing how many or who, but upon seeing you, a fairly decent greeting. At least for your knowledge, Gerald, the ship was called the Miner's Eye, and it was usually minerals, but also some various trinkets and trade goods that they've collected. And I did message you earlier about which sea you were crossing, and
Yeah, you put that. I didn't catch the name of the ship though. That was, but either way.
but in all, you just about caught the name of the ship. Again, very brief, not like a big welcome to the Miner's Eye,
Yeah.
but
It's like, what the fuck you doing here?
yeah. But yeah, you know where you were heading to, at least. And this
It seemed to be jewels and some odd trinkets and stuff. And now that I think about it, maybe the logo, something to do with miners.
Okay.
Miners something, definitely.
Oh, fantastic. Going off what Ralof was saying, did they seem to talk at all about Theron?
And had they met Theron?
They
Not a chance.
they hadn't said, no one said a word to you about
No,
him.
I don't know if I was the only one that magically aboard the ship, but they didn't seem too perplexed that we had stowaways.
Okay. I'm just thinking that it might have been a different place that maybe you and Theron had gone to. It wasn't the same place. So we might have to ask Theron when he makes an appearance.
Who knows? There was a man I did meet once in my past.
Was it?
He said some strange words and disappeared in sort of a very mystical fashion. Maybe he has something to do with it.
That's maybe. Probably have a sit down and listen to that story in more detail. But just so you're aware, there is something down here, and we don't know what it is. I am thinking that we crossed this, but it looks very rickety.
We're also going towards where we were getting attacked from. In case you didn't catch on, it wasn't the party.
I'll pull the map out and kind of tell Gerald, this is where we came from, this is where we're going, and this is the way we're going to have to.
So Gerald, if you're looking at the map,
Yeah.
all of you are currently here where this little box is.
Mm-hmm.
And at least the mark that they are looking for is this.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we roughly estimate that even on horseback, we'll get to Brenton in about 3 to 4 days.
Wow.
We thought this would be a lot closer, so we thought we'd just see what this is about first, and then.
I thought we were only a day and a half away from Brenton. Why are we now 3 days away?
That's what Theron told us. So I just assumed that he was right.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the worst decision I've made so far.
Hmm. And what do we have? I'm going to just head over to the edge and go down here then.
I
You
wouldn't get too
immediately
close.
hear, as you get to the edge, you immediately hear the faint grumble and gargle, and the sloppy sludge just.
So we don't know. But it hasn't moved. Even we travelled, pointing eastward. We travelled quite a distance, and it sounds the same over here. Am I right by saying that we think it could be possibly moving to our right?
Yes. Very,
It's-
very
yeah.
slowly. And it right here, like, it's a little bit more constant of the gargle and the grumble, but again, it's so slow and there's so much of it, it doesn't sound like it's really moving too fast.
Moving.
Is it still nighttime?
Yes.
Okay.
It's pitch
Can you-
black and freezing cold.
Yeah.
Right. Do I actually see any more of the down there? Or is it literally just nothing?
How far is your dark vision?
I know. I can say that the torch stopped at. Is it 400 feet? The second one that he got swallowed.
The second one got swallowed, yeah.
Yeah.
120 foot.
Nothing.
No. Fair enough.
Can you see? Can you see if the rope bridge keeps going? If there's anything on the rope bridge at all?
I'll look out on that.
Sure, roll a perception check for me.
See if there's any missing foot parts, or if the rope might be ripped or something.
That's an 18.
18. Okay, well, first roll of the live game.
Nice.
Nice, so 18. You look across and it's a little tricky to see, but with your keener eyes and your dark vision, you are able to look out further across, and the rope bridge itself, albeit it looks slightly rickety, it looks very sturdy at the same time, as it does bow down slightly. I'd probably the bow is probably about 15 feet until it levels off, and from what you can see, it does continue fairly straight. There's no breeze right now, it's completely still and untouched. The rope itself doesn't seem to be frayed in places for the 120 feet you can see ahead. The wooden boards that make the flooring, they're not pristine, but you know they definitely look usable. But you don't really know how fragile they might be until you put weight on them.
Well, as far as I'm aware, it seems to be a fairly used but sturdy bridge.
Okay.
As it must be. If they put to cross a chasm like this, there's a good reason for it, right?
It is true. But it's a long way down. Yes, Rolo.
Right. This might seem like a dumb question, but surely it would be a lot safer if one were to be able to fly. Yes.
It is true. If you're asking about that I can turn into a snake, meaning could I turn into something that can fly? Is that what you're asking?
What about your boots?
So, with my vast knowledge that I have, obviously, these can only last for a few minutes. I can't see the end. If they're longer than a few minutes,
Right.
I'm in the air. I
can.
I can walk far enough. I will have a quick look on how precisely.
Yeah.
Also, quick question. Kenku, are they flightless birds?
Yep.
Yeah. I remember one was a flightless bird, but I couldn't remember which one
Yeah,
it
those
was.
Kenku. Like Aarakocra, they can fly, and some other like harpies and stuff can also fly. But
Yeah,
Kenkus,
but I meant the
Ken,
bird ones.
yeah,
'Cause
Kenkus are the chickens of D&D.
Yeah.
So, just off the quick reading of it, I could walk across. I can walk for 4 hours at 30 feet per round until I land. I just have to use them for a minimum of 1 minute. So I could walk across without having to touch the bridge at all.
What I meant was that you could go on the bridge, and
Yeah.
if it broke, you wouldn't have a problem because you
Because I
have
could
no flying boots.
That is true, but if one breaks and I use the boots, I can't unfly because I'd have to be there for a minute.
Yeah.
I could walk on the side and push, maybe.
Okay, but the thing is, right?
No, I get what you're saying. Walk across, and then if one goes and I start to fall, I could just fly back up and jump the gun. Is that what you're trying to imply?
But also because then you can see how well the bridge is going. Because if one of us walked
It's true.
and it broke,
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't be able to fly.
No,
we would
I
fall.
get it. Yeah, no, I get what you're trying to say.
I might be able to climb. You might fall. But maybe you should just think light thoughts.
Let's be realistic here. I will fall because it's a rickety bridge that probably isn't designed for me.
That is true. That is true. So, you want me to test the bridge?
Yes.
Awesome. What happens if I fall through? And do you want me to carry on testing the bridge after the flight? Or do you want me to just stop and come back?
Why don't we just see how far you get?
That I can do.
It'll
Because
probably.
either way, I could easily follow behind you. I think I'm lighter.
I have a question for Deanne.
Yeah.
How much can I carry? Like if I were to give them a piggyback ride,
Mm-hmm.
how much can my boots keep flight?
I would say you could carry a creature that is the same size or one size smaller, but
Okay.
regardless of the size, it halves your movement.
Okay. Okay, that's
But
cool.
I have a question for that then.
Mm-hmm.
Would I count for medium still then, or would I count as large with the carry capacity?
Well, no, that would because you're a Goliath, so you're a medium-sized creature.
Yeah.
Your carry capacity is that of a large creature, but that's
Yeah.
only for you carrying something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, if I tested out the bridge to see how far I could get, and if it got bad, say halfway through, I could try to give you a piggyback ride past the bit that is not safe. Do you think that's a good idea?
You could just fly above Rayloff. He holds up his hands, and you just pull him up so he's just that little bit lighter. Like a little support all the way across.
That I could do. It's true. If I take some weight,
That's probably the best idea we have if we're going to go across.
Otherwise, you can jump down and see if you can walk across and climb back up. That's your other option.
I could see how far I could throw you across. That would work. And we're just going to start walking towards him. At this
Go for
point, because I would
bridge,
have...
at least.
As he's rolling for intimidation. No. I think that's a good idea. I'll test the bridge for now. And then for how long it will take me until it falls, I will just quickly fly back and we'll give the helping support of either jumping on my back for a bit to cross a small breakage, or lightening the load. Yeah. I'm going to start walking towards the bridge.
Okay. So, Tara, you begin to make your way, only 50 feet, and you find yourself at the edge of the ravine and the chasm, just looking down at this fairly narrowish bridge. It's nothing too narrow that you have to, like, you know, get skinny for, but you've got enough for single file and maybe just a bit of leeway on either side. So I'd say 3.5, 4 feet of boards, you know, from end to end.
Is there rope on the bottom and the handles?
Yes. So there's the rope. It's weird. The rope goes out from two pittons that you look down and you notice are just firmly cemented into the chasm.
Okay.
And it goes out from those two, and then as it just before it gets to the bridge, just splits off with an extra rope and down running along the bottom of the center. So you've got the ropes supporting each side of the wooden boards, and then one running down the center.
Okay.
And then
to kind of keep...
the two ropes coming up for like a railing kind of deal.
Okay. I'm going to spend however long it would be to at each point where either concrete and rope meet or rope and rope meet, I'm going to mend to confirm that they have got no rips, no tears, no nothing. So it's got a full supporting lot, like it's just being...
You lean down slightly and you notice that the rope is slightly frayed on one pitton.
Mm-hmm.
Before you... And within a few moments, it's mended and it's pristine rope bound. It's going nowhere.
I'll turn around and thumbs up. Like the quick. I'll take my first couple of steps in knowledge that at least my first step isn't going to be fucking shit.
Yeah. As you...
Yeah. Before I take the next step, it's going to be, does that wooden board look okay to step on? Yes. Step. Does that one look okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'll say roll a perception check then, just for as you begin to step.
That's okay. Perception plus 4 is 18.
18. So you take a couple steps, and immediately the bow begins, and you kind of like lean back slightly with your body, but still start slowly walking down as it bows before it straightens up.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple steps in, you notice that the boards are holding sturdy. There's no issues.
Yep.
As
Was
you...
that my stomach? No, it can't be because I've had...
As the bridge itself, as it does adjust to your weight, as you are getting down, I'd say just teetering where it begins to level off.
Mm-hmm.
And where the ropes initially at the end were taut, they are a little bit loose on either side.
Okay.
Not so much like they're still, in line with the bridge, and they're still,
Yeah.
taut enough to keep a hold
Like
on.
if I were to do
Yeah,
this
you can do that.
slack.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
But you do notice the bridge kind of, as you step again, and you kind of notice a slight roll, and you hear just a couple distant
Okay. How far do you think I have travelled at this distance?
Just barely, about 15 feet.
Okay. Turn around.
Oh, yeah, I would have packed me or I
Dune
forgot
Whisper?
what it's called. Dune Whisper.
Yeah.
Away.
That's okay. Yeah.
I just taken out a torch just to light it, just to
Yeah, and you very
so I could
quickly
sort of
just...
see a beacon, just so.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
At
enjoy
least
it.
warn me when you're going to light that.
I'll carry on moving.
I'm going to light it.
As... Tara, you begin to move,
Gonna continue.
and you take a few more steps. The creaking stops as you... and you kind of feel a slight sway in the bridge as you are kind of adjusting to the rigidity of this rope bridge. And you begin to hear a...
Nice. With my butt asshole clenched hard, I'll shit myself and carry on moving.
you notice Tara about 20 feet in just begins to walk a little weirdly, little stiff.
Yeah, I'm not a cowboy.
I'm
But
gonna
no,
what's
I'm
it
gonna
called?
carry on going.
Gerald lights a pallet his dagger and he's going to get to the first plank and is just going to start carving "Don't Look Down" across that first plank.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand or a survival check. Just to whittle and carve it in. Rayloff, what are you doing as you see Tara continuously tentatively moving forward? And Gerald goes up and begins just
16 on there.
very, very clearly and boldly in the first plank. Just almost like stamped in.
There we go. Now everyone's got a nice little warning.
I'm going to start moving some of the chitin into the haversack, just to make it a bit, just to make myself a little bit lighter.
Perfectly fine. Yeah, you take your heavy bag off, and who's carrying the haversack? Is it you, Rayloff?
Me.
Yeah. Okay. You take both bags off of the smaller one and your normal adventuring backpack, and it is like it just hit the sand with a as you begin to just pull different things out and quickly.
I hope so, with how much I've got in there,
Yeah.
including a keg of water.
You do begin to bundle things into the haversack, and it does instantly relieve that weight as you put your backpack back on after relieving some of the weight, and it's like, oh, like both bags feels like nothing.
Is it worth adding into the weight? 'Cause I'm not entirely sure how much chitin would weigh.
No, not if it's being moved to the haversack.
Okay.
Because it'll be no wood then.
No, I meant because it can only carry a certain amount, can't it?
It can to a degree, but I roughly know because I know how many of the chitin hides that you have gathered. They're not going.
Yeah, it's
they're,
like
they're,
five.
they're heavy, but they're not like a ton. You know. But
Okay.
yeah, Terry
Continue.
with
I'm
the
just gonna
with the
continue.
torchlight flickering behind you, beginning to
Yeah, yeah.
like go off, or not go off, just beginning to just get more distant and distant. You, Gerald, are you stepping on?
I will take a step on. Oh.
Terry, you are just tentatively just. With each footfall, you can kind of see some sand on the boards, just gently.
Okay. Like people have maybe used it and
Either
the sand off their boots.
either that or sandstorm or just
Thank you.
over time naturally.
Yeah. I'll do it.
But
Can I feel the presence of someone else going onto said bridge?
you take one more step, and you do hear under your foot just a slight.
I'm gonna stop like
Yeah, like halfway on the foot. And just as you are like you pull your foot back and put all your weight on the one board the other foot's on,
Yeah.
you feel the bridge kind of slightly a little bit as you turn around and you see Gerald has just merely just took his first step and put his weight on the bridge, and it does wave slightly.
I'm gonna turn around.
And you kind of find yourself on the ropes because they're getting slacker and slacker. You do feel like foot, and you can right now at this point you can go full wingspan with the rope, and it's just a good push to keep it that taut.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around, keeping at least one hand on the rope. Get off!
Hey.
I will tell you when you can cross.
I'll take a step back, but I might just grab the ropes and just sort of just gently do that.
I'm just gonna grab the back of his scruff and
Alright.
just pull him.
Tara, just for a moment, roll the dexterity saving throw for me.
Dex saving throw. Fucking shit ass. Oh no. Natural 1.
4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Save would be a 3 if that were to
Okay,
help.
so well, total out of combat, so 3.
Yeah.
Gerald, you take a step back as Tara's like dead-eyeing you and pointing, and you can see the sweat building on her forehead as she is like holding one hand, and you can see her arm shaking, trying to like stay on, and you just go gently across. But you see, as that small motion is just nothing on your end, the further down it goes, the more it waves. Tara, you find yourself, as the bridge, you kind of feel your feet, not weightless, but you feel like a non-consensual push of movement as your body is staying still, but you are being moved. And you do feel as the bridge swings slightly, and as you do, you kind of let go of one, wrapping your arm around the other bit of rope, and you do fall, and you and the rope just becomes taut, and you are pretty much laying near vertical off the side of the bridge with your feet still on the wooden planks and your body like resting into this single line tethered rope. And you hear just below you
Do we hear this as well?
Yes. A lot fainter. But for you, Tara, it's
a
right below you. It's a deep grumble.
I'm going to put all of my effort into trying to get up so my feet is like using the weight on one side to kind of like
Alright, roll a athletics check for me.
14 with athletics is a +4 as well. 14. What's it called now? 18.
Nice, awesome. As you are struggling, but you very quickly just tense your core and push yourself up and kind of like just almost like shoving yourself from a laying down position over enough to grab onto the other rope and steady your feet.
Yeah.
You look down to where you were laying before against the rope, and you see just some sludge, almost like a column, about 10 feet around, is just slowly and like raising up just out of the darkness slightly, just coming to like a tethered point as this column of sludge slowly, just as it's amalgamated, just
Okay, I'm going to be less thorough in my steps.
okay.
But I'm going to keep walking, but at a faster pace.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you see that, and you straight away just begin to just and just trying, and you do feel some like and
Yeah.
and you feel the bridge just gently sway a little bit
Or
the
Shrek
further you
style.
get on. Yeah, the further you get
Yeah.
on.
Am I right by saying that one of them is completely gone now? It's only just one hand rope, or is
No,
both
they're
there?
both there,
Okay.
but you just collapsed onto one.
Yeah,
But
yeah, so
as you
how
came
was
back up, it's still there. But you notice as you're holding on, your hands that initially started about here
Yeah.
and
It's
slowly
now
gliding
able
down,
to get to here.
you can like grab the ropes. I'd say you get 40 more feet.
Okay.
Actually, what's your movement? 30.
30, yeah, around now.
You get 60 feet
Okay.
from where you were. So I'd say about 75, 80 feet away from Rayloff and Gerald. You begin to feel the ropes with almost no tautness and no weight.
Okay.
And it's just it's not so much like they're still there, but you can push them about down to your calves and knees, and only when it reaches just above your calves does it begin to grow taut again.
Okay. I'm going to hold them quite close to me. Turn around like with my head. Reel off. Please pull the ropes that I'm gonna have my hands on. It's getting very slack.
And you can
So you have to let me
just
down,
about
big
hear
boy.
this.
I'm just gonna put him on the ground, sort of drop him
Yeah,
like
just,
sort of
you
there.
firmly just come to your feet. Feel your ankle
I'm
go
just
a
gonna-
little bit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my torch in his hand firmly, and I'm just gonna grab the ropes and sort of pull towards me. Not any sort of like that, just straight towards me
Okay.
to tighten it.
Yeah.
I will give.
I'm gonna
what's it
brace. for
Ray
it.
lost some bardic inspiration because he'll know he'll find it funny when I go, "What am I, some glorified sconce?"
Yes, at the minute.
So
You should be lucky that you are that still. You
So-
won't be, you'll be a less glorious looking sconce soon.
So, Rayloff, you take your... Is it a D8 now?
Yes.
Yeah,
D8.
you take your D8 Bardic Inspiration whenever you want to use it. Roll a strength check for me. Or an athletics, your choice.
I'll roll in athletics then.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought you'd do.
What's like, do you roll strength? Or strength and a modifier?
Yeah, I know.
25.
Awesome. You slowly bring the ropes, and you don't really notice too much slack on this end, but you kind of go a little bit more forward, not like just barely cresting the bridge, staying on that overhang, and you reach out and grab some of the rope, and you gently pull and lean backwards against the weight. Tara, in a few moments, you feel those ropes, and they feel taut again.
Perfect! Keep it there! I'm going to, with happiness in my head that he's responded, I'm going to keep it going, grabbing.
Okay, yeah. You keep growing in.
Yeah, well, I'll do a few steps, feeling good about myself.
Yeah.
Turn around. If I double pull harder!
Right.
And I'll keep on going.
Rayloff, you see Tara has quickly gone into the pitch black, and all you hear is that voice just faintly echo out of the darkness.
Yeah.
As you continue, Tara, you're reaching the ends of Gerald's view. As you find yourself quickly catching up to about 120, 140 feet away from the edge, and you hear some slight creaks as you do step across, and you feel the rope gently becoming slack, not too much.
Okay, I'll play safe. I will. Because I've got him here, I will double push
Yeah. Okay.
making him to pull.
All right. Rayloff, you feel a slight tug on the rope, very faint.
I'll start pulling more slowly this time.
Yeah, and you
So
kind
to
of
try
get a bit further on the bridge, maybe like just a few steps on, and you just pull gently back, and Tara, you do feel them kind of taught
Yeah,
out
no worries.
again.
A little grin in my face, a nod of acknowledgement, and I will try to keep up this pace because I
Alright.
feel like I'm making
Yeah,
some good
you
distance.
keep going and going. 10 more feet, 20 more feet. You feel one board snap underfoot. I want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
I will. No, I won't. I will roll. Six.
Half of one of the boards just and the rope underneath it, you notice is just snapped slightly
Okay.
as the board itself just into the distance, and you just hear a slight
Okay.
and you find yourself just the whole leg all the way up to your pelvis straight through the gap.
Like the whole foot's
Yeah.
gone through.
Almost
Okay.
like doing the splits against like the middle of this
Yeah.
bridge.
I will attempt to get back up to my feet.
All right.
I will kind of like kick once I'm kind of like up and I've got a solid grip. After really feeling taut, like sudden, just I'm going to try kick off the rest of the thing so it's an obvious opening. I'll try to feel out the next step.
Okay. Roll a athletics check for me to get back up.
That's an 11.
11. As you are like sort of like swinging your foot back and forth to try and like just nudge your butt back onto like the bridge properly to be able to like get your weight over and pull your leg out.
Yeah.
You hear below you. As you hear that sludge like culminating again below you.
If I had an idea, how close do I think it sounds?
Right now,
Just off sound.
because you are now in pitch black,
Yeah.
no light at all.
That's fine. I'm just going off depth of hearing. How far I think it is.
Roll a perception check with disadvantage for me.
Disadvantage. 18 was my first one. 2 was my second. Perception. That is a whole 6.
6. Before it sounded like it must be a couple hundred feet away, but weirdly like, reverberal and all around you.
Yeah.
Until just now as you hear that just like getting closer and closer,
Yeah.
you feel 60 feet, 40 feet,
I will start
20
flying.
feet.
I'll clip my heels and start flying. Once I start flying up, I'll do a quick, like, whip like a rain
All right. As you
as I come up.
bring your leg down to the gap as well and click your boots and you
Yeah.
whip the reins,
Yeah.
you do feel as your boots begin to and the little wings begin to flap and you begin to feel like levitating
Elevation.
up.
Yeah.
Just as you slowly come up, you do feel a slight cold wetness on one foot, just
Okay.
holding slightly.
Mhm.
I know that definitely hits, but I don't. I'll say the number.
27.
Gonna be 20 something.
31.
31. You know what? It fucking hits. It hit me and also another me if I was there.
I want you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
That I can do. Please hope to God that it's high enough. Non-natural 20.
Nice.
+2 on an 18.
Okay,
I'll
so
fucking take it.
so you
Take
take
half damage.
initially as that cold wetness catches your foot and you tug down and it kind of almost just keeps you in place for a second.
Okay.
Almost you can feel like the whatever it is isn't moving up towards you anymore. You are just moving down into it, almost like beginning to start swallowing your foot and ankle, just crawling up slightly.
Okay.
You initially take as the
I love this initial.
as the wetness begins to become firm around you, almost like a crushing vice on your foot, as you do hear a couple bones in your foot just as it.
Okay.
You take 19 points of bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
and you do feel that pull down slightly, but you're able to use the ropes as you rein them and your boots pushing and pushing, and you do feel your foot come free. It is throbbing and numb, but you are free, and you are just barely hovering a couple feet above the wooden boards.
Okay. I'm going to use a good fat movement to move higher up and back towards Rayloff and Gerald.
Okay, as you
And
hear
I'm going to,
that,
if I can.
continue. You fly up. How far are you going up?
I'd say 20 foot up, 10 foot across, and I'm going to do that as dash. So I'll do that as 40 foot up and 20 foot across.
Okay, right. So 40 foot, and then you begin to move. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll do that like diagonally.
Yeah, no
that makes
problem.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say, just roll a general survival check for me. Because with no light, no direction, and now the feeling of the rope bridge gone, in which direction you were heading or where, I want to know if you are able to head back to Gerald and Reloff before you see the torchlight become visible.
22.
22.
I rolled a 15
Very
plus 7.
nice. Well, very successfully as you begin to coast just through the pitch black.
I will be screaming at this point.
Okay.
Like, in pain and in worry.
As you are hurling so fast,
Yeah.
you hear just as you look down, coming closer and closer, you see another kind of sludge-like arm just build and amalgamate, and again, almost like a sludge, like mud, like tentacle almost, but you notice that the starlight and the moonlight just hits just as it's about trying to latch at you. Not fast at all, but it's like weirdly slow, like a turtle, but also in that same vein of that slow, but there's so much of it, it builds up to you quickly as the entire like sludge tentacle grows towards you, and you can estimate instantly it's 20 feet around, just growing up to you, and it is going to try and just slowly encompass one of your legs again as you are just flying away. Both of you, Gerald and Rayloff, you hear like a faint scream, just a shriek of pain and panic, slowly beginning to get louder and louder in the distance. That is a 22 to hit.
It does hit me, yeah.
I want you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please, Sarah.
14.
Okay, so you take 23 points of bludgeoning damage. As the sludge itself, it grabs onto your knee and thigh as you are kind of like diagonally, like nearly like leveling off to flat as you're flying across, and it just like goes and just latches onto your leg, and you feel your knee just pull and push and squish and expand. It just pop. But you are able to make the save as the flight and your sort of direction, as you're not standing where it can like entrap, but you're more like this, so it's just trying to latch on to nothing. As you feel the damp, just wet firmness of the gargling, sloppy sludge, just as you're able to like latch yourself off and free yourself and continue.
Yep.
Gerald and Rayloff. Gerald, firstly. Rayloff, as you feel just before that scream, you felt the ropes kind of just gently raise slightly. Very faintly. Before you hear that shriek and scream of a familiar voice. Gerald, just shooting out of the darkness. You see Tara just flying, just hands first, or head first, flying with her boots straight towards you guys. You notice initially a large sort of like damp brown stain on one of her legs and the corresponding foot. But you notice that her leg is slightly disfigured and deformed, as well as just maybe you catch like a little bit of starlight on one foot and you notice like it's a little bit just misshapen as she is just hurling towards you.
I don't like this bridge, Rayloff.
Tara, you get from the party 80 feet, 40 feet,
Yeah, a couple.
20 feet. You hear and just as you get 20, 15, 10, you look to the gap that separates you and the ground, and you begin to see just another column sludge-like tentacle just slowly grow up towards you.
Yeah.
But as you pass 5 feet and you are just barely crossing that finish line, you see the tentacle not even reach above ground level of the chasm or reach out to you, and you just see it just like sink from standing over onto the wall of the ravine and just gently just begin to slowly just drift down back to where it was before. As Tara, are you going straight to the party members, or are you...
Yes, I'm going to dive into Rayloff's arms.
Okay, Rayloff, roll a strength saving throw.
I'm using that D8. I may as well, because I feel like it'll probably run out soon anyway. Nice. 17.
17.
I rolled a 3.
Nice. Alright, so you see Tara come out of the darkness for you, Rayloff, as you're holding the rope, and you just see her just jettisoning towards you, head first, screaming and screeching, some slight disfigurement and stains on her clothes, as she just hurls towards you, just bundling up and like going sideways almost to just just crash into you. You let go of the ropes, lock your back foot.
In your arms, you're gonna hear me cry out in pain. My leg! My foot's my leg!
You notice as you look down, Rayloff, just even at a glance, Tara's leg goes straight, and then just around her knee, you see the knee is almost offset by about 4 inches. The rest of the leg slightly twisted, yet the foot is going off at another direction, and the toes all just like pushed in together and almost cylindrified.
Right, immediately then I'm just moving away from the rope, off a carry, and
Yeah, you come back onto the overhang.
keeping us, making sure now we're sort of like lifting up onto my shoulder,
Yeah.
so the leg is on the offside,
Yeah.
so it's not gonna hit anything, so it's just there.
Yeah, Terry, you just feel that burning,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
twist
no,
and
that's fine.
tension.
That's fine. I'm not gonna care. I know I'm with everyone.
Yeah.
I
I'm
will
just gonna
keep
move away.
crying though. Like it fucking hurts. There's probably more hurt than I've felt. I don't know. Even in my tree climbing genius.
Gerald is going to clasp both of his hands together, rub them, and then he's going to cast Cure Wounds twice, but he's going to cast one in one hand, one in the other, using like first level spell slots each. He's just going to go pop back into place and be alright. And he's going to like touch onto the foot and the knee. And yeah, we'll go.
I'll scream in healthy pain.
Yeah, I'm going to immediately get ready because I can guarantee that there's gonna be twitching. So I'm just gonna hold.
So you hold and you
Trying
kind
to
of
pin me
almost like support but also restrain Tara
Yeah.
as Gerald's hands after the nice limerick as he just and you see the energy just glow in his hands before
It's a 13 and a 14.
and Terry, you feel that shooting pain and twist, and you hear.
I'm just gonna pull on, just try to.
Yeah,
Like,
and she begins kicking and twitching and trying to wriggle out. But you do heal 13 and 14?
27, yeah, in total.
27 HP back.
27, juicy. Thank you very much.
You see the knee for Gerald and Rayloff. You see Terra's knee just. And it just claps back in to where it should be. The rest of the leg just begins to slightly twist back. The foot itself is still a little bit misshapen, a little bit off to one side, but it doesn't look as bad as it just was. But you still see all up her leg now and on her foot, all coated in just. And now that you all kind of get a sense of everything, this just foul, sewage-like smell as Terra's leg is completely coated in thick, like viscous remnants of sludge. Like all of the water that was there once is just against her leg.
Can I tell if it's poisonous at all? Or...
Roll a survival or medicine check for me. I'd say more survival.
Okay. It's +5 either way, so it makes no difference. 10.
10.
Not the best.
You don't notice any initial signs of poisonous. It just smells disgusting, and it's like even with it being like the water the water remnants on her leg, no actual sludge there. You begin to like kind of wipe it off a little bit, and it's just almost like gel, and just so like thick and just viscous and wanting to stick to the skin. And you almost have to like kind of begin to peel it off. You know, like when you have a price tag sticker on a glass, and you have to pick at it and just roll it off, kind of with some water. It's like that, all along your leg.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna keep carrying until we're about a good 100-150 feet away from the cavern. Find a good spot to sort of set up. I'm gonna first of all, I'm going to get my bedroll, leave it wrapped up. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to put Tara on the ground so her leg's on the bedroll.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to Gerald, hold a leg quickly.
Yeah, I'll grab that.
You also may want to close your mouth. And I'm going to take out Sierra's breath. I'll turn to Tara quickly. This might sting for a second. I'm gonna aim it down, so just before where the gel is. I'm gonna need to open that.
Gerald, your hands.
We're good.
Firm, wet grip.
I'm gonna take off the lid and try and use that to push off any excess.
Okay, all right. Roll a just roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
If it hits, the harder I'm grabbing onto his hand.
3.
3.
Oh, you lucky son of a bitch.
You take the lid off, and the immediate gust just out. Tara, you instantly feel a deep pressure on that knee again, and it just and you feel that knee just popped downwards.
Nice.
You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as the gust is just forced almost into your leg, and you feel from the knee joint just, and it does have that familiar pop and twist sound that you had just felt and heard before.
Like, even from it just going down the body. Not rather
As-
than going straight down.
As you rolled a 3, as you were trying to angle it properly, it's just a little bit too straight on as it gusts out.
Does it take off any
But-
of the...
As you kind of rear it back and you notice Tara you just tense up and you hear
Gerald's
the
face.
snap and you see Gerald just
No, the real.
almost half between getting stabbed and taking a really big shit, just getting his hand crushed as you angle it a little bit off, and the gust of wind from the jaw just begins to blow off some of the gel, and the gel, you feel, Tara,
Yeah.
almost like Velcro against your skin, just as it rolls
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
get
rolls
all of it
all
off.
down, and after about a solid 3 minutes, your leg is completely clean,
Yeah.
but it is freezing cold. That throbbing, stinging, just pain begins to radiate from that knee all the way up your leg, and you just feel it, and it's just burning and throbbing.
I release my endear grip from Gerald.
Oh,
Thank you! I really needed that!
I
Turn
could
to
have done
Rayloff.
without it.
I
Well,
could really not do with that!
Look, I'm sorry, but it needs that. It
Yeah, I
needs to
know.
come off if it's poisonous.
It's true, it's true. The only good part is I've dealt with injuries, like my knee going out. I can kind of like usher myself onto, so I'm now, instead of my legs being on his sleeping bag, I'm sitting on it,
Mhm.
and I'm going to pretty much under fist my own knee to try to kind of pop it back up.
Okay, roll a strength check.
And then once I've done that, I'm going to try to like crack my
Sure.
foot
Yeah.
straight.
Okay.
What did you
Right.
say you
Roll,
wanted to
roll a
roll?
strength check for the underfist swing.
Okay. That's 13 plus 1, 14 for the
Yeah.
strength one.
As you're sitting down and you just
Crapping myself.
and,
Yeah,
and
I
you
know what's
and,
coming.
and you hear that initial
Yeah.
of your knee, and after a moment of panting and just stinging, searing pain,
Yeah.
you feel around your knee and it's in place for now. You reach down. I want you to
Yeah,
make.
I'll grab my foot and the bottom of my foot and the top of my
Yeah,
foot, and I'm going to try to.
I want you to make a survival or medicine check, because you are you are resetting
Would I
the fracture of
to-
your ankle and foot.
Yeah, would I be able to help by just sort of helping keep it stable then?
Yeah, if you wanted to, yeah, roll with advantage.
Yeah.
As Rayloff,
Yeah,
Rayloff just like
I'll kind of say,
grips around your
hold
calf.
here. Yeah. Hold here. I'm going to try and put it back.
Gerald, you are witnessing.
Now that I get what she's doing,
Yeah.
that.
As you hold, Gerald, you are witnessing almost like a horror story of bones breaking and popping back.
21.
21.
My advantage.
And just as you kind of got over that initial watching that niece get reset,
Yeah.
and you think, at least it's over. And you see Tara just twist her own ankle and foot, and you hear as the tendons just readjust around the bones again as it just rotates and pops and sets back to where it was before. And you feel that initial, again, searing pain just blasting all the way up your leg, and you just... You feel it's going to be a good few hours before you put weight on that foot again. But it is facing the right direction, and you can just barely see a few of your toes just twitch.
Yeah. I'll do the initial, like, making sure I can feel all my toes. I can.
You can feel all of them. Only a couple of them
move.
are gently moving, like very faint.
That's fine. I'm happy with any movements I will take.
Right. So once I know that's set, I'll start taking out some of the scrap cloth to wrap up the leg.
Yeah, cool.
Actually, no. I'll take it out, but I won't start yet. I will look back to Gerald and just go, "Have you got that pot?"
The pot? Which pot? I'll
The
have
one
the
that
torch in my hand.
boils.
Ah, the kettle.
The one that boils?
I'll bring out the kettle.
What do you have in mind?
You know, I'm really glad I'm not a doctor. After you.
What do you need that for?
Well,
Okay.
unless you want to waste a potion.
I've got bandages.
No, you're thinking of the wrong thing. Potion. And I'm going to hold up the potion of poison resistance.
Okay.
If it's poisonous, we need to cure it as soon as possible.
I get
And
you.
instead of using the potion, we can use some of the
Yes, of the bloom flower.
yeah.
Yes.
But we need to boil it for that to happen, which I
Okay,
won't put
yeah.
on when it's boiling. But we need to get it started as soon as possible.
That's good. I forgot about that.
Unless you want me to put.
No! I really wish. Don't do not.
Right.
Good.
So as I was saying,
Yes.
before I was interrupted, Geralt, the kettle, please.
Alright, calm down. Here it is.
Alright, so you take the...
I'm gonna distract Tara whilst this is happening.
Alright, you take the winter kettle, and already as Gerald passes off to you and sets it down on the ground, you feel that just slight vibration and rumble as you feel just the heat coming from it as you grab the handles, and you put it down and begin to throw some of the bloom flowers in.
Yeah, I'll throw in 2 to activate its effect. So I'm now on 8 leaves.
So Tara, you shouldn't pay attention to what he's doing. What was on that bridge then? Come on. Cough it all up.
Yeah, so the bridge goes pretty far. I didn't see the edge, did I, at all?
No.
It's
No,
darkness.
but as you're all talking, and Rayloff is slowly just like stirring all this concoction of the bloom flower and the boiling water, you do begin to hear again that faint, constant.
Okay, then.
From the ravine itself.
While he's doing that, I will use my feature of. Fucking, I'm a pro. Half the moonlight and shadow.
Okay.
I'm just gonna literally just touch the floor.
Yeah, you touch the floor and you all see that just of smoke and light under Tara's hand just begin to emanate. And it just comes up as a dome around all of you in darkness before as it reaches the precipice and comes to the plateau of the dome, it just dissipates around you, and the starlight and moonlight begin to rain over you again.
So once that is boiled, I'll pour it into a cup and set it down. And I'll look back to Gerald and just go to him, watch over us for a minute. And I'm going to get ready to use my feature. If I can remember what we called it. Assuming we did call it something.
And we did.
Come on. Where are you? They somewhere.
I also glance out to see if anything is coming towards us from the
Sure,
bridge
roll a
direction.
perception check for me.
You get +5, +5 because we're in the half and moonlight shadow.
Nice. That makes it 15.
Nice, okay. You, as ominous as it is, and after how Terra came hurling out, it's just dead and silent. The rope bridge you see gently just still swinging and swaying gently in the distance.
I am going to use some hit die
Okay.
while we're...
Yeah, perfectly fine.
I don't know if we did give it a name. I can't find it anywhere.
I'm pretty sure we did. I'll give it a check at the break.
Okay.
And then
But
we'll...
you know which one I'm on.
I know,
I'm
yeah.
assuming.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'll start preparing the ritual for that.
Okay. You...
So just sort of... Oh,
Go on.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, what you two would see is, you sort of see Gerald take off his coat, take off his other coat underneath,
You're about rail off
and on his...
Yeah.
yourself. It happens.
Talking about
It
my
happens.
character,
But yeah, so rail off. You begin taking
Rail
off. Yeah.
taking off his two coats, taking both off so his back is exposed, and you notice that along his shoulder blades there is what seems to be very almost like lines of silver scales going from his center of his back up along his shoulders, just reaching just to the cuff of the back of his shoulder blades. And as he sits down, he puts his hands together and starts mumbling to himself. But you see those scales, and well, you see this from the scales emanating around his body, sort of the same similar ice as what you saw in his armor, but not as bulky, but more. You sort of get a sense of it's cold, but it's soothing cold, not
Freezing ice
angry,
temperature.
freezing.
Okay.
You start to see that starting to surround him in a circle, almost like a ritual, but not quite the same. And you start to see the area around us, sort of a similar area of what your bubble would have been. You see, as more and more of that goes round, the area seems more and more habitable. And once it's done, the area is completely encased on the floor. But it almost seems as if the ice isn't quite there. But to you, the area is now a perfect temperature, even though the ice would seem otherwise.
Warm snow. Different kind of magic? Didn't think you could do anything very long.
I thought you were just all hit things.
Not magic.
Not magic? What is it?
It's complicated, shall we say.
We have time.
Very complicated.
Like, I've got some time because I won't be able to move.
As he says that, you hear him sigh, and he's going to point up. What you will see, if you do look up,
Yeah, which I will look up.
you will see an ethereal silver dragon, an elder dragon, looking down at you.
I'm gonna see if it is an illusion.
Yeah,
Roll
I'm
a
on the
perception
same
check.
point.
Both of you. Roll perception.
Because I have learned. Not with a fucking one.
Mine's a 10.
That is a 5.
5. And
Total.
Gerald?
A 10.
None of you can really discern it. It seems real enough.
I need to cry a little more.
I thought you hated the dragons.
Yeah.
But
As I
you've
said,
got a pet one?
no, it's definitely not a pet. He is
Is it-
definitely not a pet.
Is it part of you?
You could say that.
Excuse me, Mr. Dragon. I don't taste very good. You
Miss.
haven't showered or washed
Dragon.
in days.
Miss.
It's
Miss
just
Dragon?
get away.
Is this your wife?
No!
Not good meat on a kenku at all. Please. Not. Don't eat.
Jesus.
So, a very long story.
Yes.
Why do we see a dragon? Is it part of that story?
Yes.
Okay. Is he gonna help?
She is, yes.
Okay. How?
Well, I'm just gonna clip your fingers. You'll see the form disappear, but the eyes, you can tell, are still there.
Okay.
And that does nothing to help my nerves.
And you just see those dragon serpent-like eyes staring down at both of you.
In brief,
In brief,
what are you doing?
the closest word is I have blessed this area temporarily. As if a dragon would to their own coven.
Ah,
That does help a little bit.
Just as Rayloff is sharing this reassurance or explanation, Tara
yeah.
and Gerald, you both notice a small, gentle, faded cyan circle appear on the ground next to you and faintly begin to just trail forward towards you on the ground before you notice it rest on Tara's leg.
Not the broken one.
And then
What?
up to her chest.
Blue cyan light.
A blue cyan
Okay,
circle
okay.
that has just appeared along the ground
Oh, okay.
and just slowly trailing
I'm just
up.
gonna start shifting
And
fucking backwards.
it shifts off of Tara to Rayloff and to Gerald.
The dart's back!
And that is where we're going to go take a break. So, I just want to thank everyone for sticking around for the first live game. It's been awesome so far, and I hope you're enjoying it. We're going to go take a quick break and be back in just a short while. So go to the bathroom, go get snacks, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, as we come back into the game, after Terra tried to scale across the chasm, attacked on her way after a thorough, playful shake from Gerald on the bridge. She hurled herself back using the flying boots, attempting to escape whatever sludge, creature, being that may be lurking underneath and inside that chasm. You hurled yourself back to the party, and you all gathered around, aided Terra and fixed your wounds, and all of you settled down slightly to begin to treat those wounds and just catch your breaths, rest and recover, and find out what to do next. And as Rayloff surprisingly used some form of innate arcane that you haven't seen before to make the small space around you pleasant and warm and habitable, perfect temperature, and you all began to converse slightly before you saw a familiar small circle of light appear on the ground, yet different shade, as the moonlight and starlight is casting what you see now, the small cyan light blue circle of light trail on the floor up towards Terra, then to Rayloff and Gerald. And just as it holds on the floor just in front of all of you, looking more towards the center of you three. In the pitch black night, this light is the only one thing that is so ever present, shaking slightly, but not shifting.
You're safe in
Can
here, right?
Can I see where it's coming from me and the dragon then?
Roll a perception check for me.
In response to Gerald, I will say, not entirely better than we were.
Quick question: did we say the dragon had any bonuses like night vision or anything like that?
No, it just makes it a habitable space.
It's based off of my rolls, I'm guessing.
Yeah, just your rolls, yeah.
Okay, so because of what Terra did, I get +5 to perception, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. It says total cover blocks the sphere. So we are in total cover.
Okay.
If that helps at all, if we were to be shot at all.
Okay.
That is 24.
Awesome. Okay. You look off in the distance and about 300 feet away or so, just on a small rise of where this flat ground now near the chasm begins to rise again into the dunes of the respite. And just on that first rise, before all of you had slid down, you see a small pinpoint of a brighter shimmer of cyan blue.
And I see a hat at all.
You don't see anything except for that small little dot, cyan.
Okay. I'll sort of point out where it's coming from to people then. And then I'll sort of go to Joe. Do you have anything like what you've used to signal him before?
I could, but didn't you say last time... Well, I disappeared as the light touched me last time. But didn't you then say confetti started raining?
Yes, but if it's not going to aim at any of us, I have a feeling it's Duke. Because at this point it would have shot us by now.
Well, here it goes. And we will cast Minor Illusion, the big thumbs up in the air.
As you see her just out of Gerald's hands as he pushes them up, you see just an ethereal smoke just and just form into a hand. Just in the air above.
Nice.
You see the circle just trail up straight onto Gerald's abdomen. And stay there.
I was just gonna do.
The light doesn't
Little
move with you,
baby.
it just stays.
Well, he's liking the show either way.
A moment goes by.
While the aim's gone towards Gerald, I'm going to kind of like turn around and try to look myself to see if there's any difference, or I am expecting a flare, knowing that so I'll wait for a flare. Hopefully.
Okay.
But looking at general
You
damage.
keep your eyes up to where you see the dot.
Yeah.
A moment passes by. Another moment passes. And just above that dot, you see a bright hot red.
Yeah, that's definitely him.
Breathe a sigh of relief.
And you see the dot kind of almost move and shudder as it gets pulled off angle, and the light has gone and the dot has gone as well.
Roughly how far away would we think it is?
It's about 300 feet or so.
Will I go grab our kitty cat friend?
Once he gets to 6 foot worth of range, I will kind of like I will mind. Sorry. Fuck's sake. Straight to mind link with him, and I will direct him which way to go through
Alright.
mind link
As
if he decides to come to us.
as the starlight kind of casts across this ground even more so than it did towards the chasm, you begin to see the starlight bounce off of the familiar form of the Stetson hat and the brown cloak and coat, the gloved hands, and you see Duke kind of like bundling himself down, like so, sideways stepping down the rise of the sand. You see the sand shifting under his feet, and he's just lugging this like large heavy backpack, and he approaches and gets about 70-60 feet.
As this is starting to get there, I'd be like, so I am saying one of you two can tell him what's happened to his horse.
You can do that. You're probably better with talking.
You
What's
also
Gavin's-
kind of owe Tara for messing about on the bridge.
Yeah, but I do owe you back for fixing me up, so I appreciate it. How about we say it together?
Alright, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start putting my jacket back on.
Okay.
Not the big jacket, just the regular one.
But if you
But I
both
will-
pitch off, I'm healing myself first.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But when I see that there's this 6 foot away,
Yeah.
I'll man like with him and say, "Hey, it's Tara. Star going slightly to your right. Okay, now go straight from there. Okay, perfect.
And you just hear in your mind. Now is that straight from me or straight from you?
It's straight. Well, it doesn't matter. You're looking directly at us.
Or is it right of you or the left of me?
You turn one way, and I'll tell you if it's still there.
I can see where I'm going.
Then, okay.
Hello again.
Hey,
And Duke comes into the still torchlight or campfire.
Yeah,
Don't
we
know
still
if I
got the
know
torch.
So comes
Yeah.
into the flickering torchlight, and you notice
so-
just through the fur, it just like darker and damp with sweat pouring down as he kind of just tilts his hat up slightly. I've had to walk for quite a while now, and it's all because of you. And he just hurls his backpack off. Why the hell have you come out this far?
Being honest, I have appeared here, so I don't even know why we're here.
I'll pull out the map. Did you make this map? We saw your notes and we only assumed that it might be you.
I made something similar before, but I ain't made that one.
Rayloff, do you have that note? That we said?
Yeah, I'll
did you
pass it
did
over.
did you make a note? Thank you.
I did.
Did you make this one?
And you see Duke take it and kind of angle it towards the torchlight flickering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got done with Cruel and we thought, well, I best let you all know what's going on.
That's fantastic. Brilliant.
And we thank you for that.
I'll give you back, Rayloff.
We also have good news and bad news.
Okay, so which one you want to start me with?
Actually, we got very good news. I'll start with that one first. The very good news, we dealt with Mogrush. He is done and gone.
That's
No problems.
That's amazing to hear. It really is. We're making
And-
progress.
Yeah.
The next good news is we know the location of Thistle.
Right.
Yes.
So, wait. You see my horse?
Yes.
And
But
now comes the last part.
the sadly bad news, and I would hesitate for you to sit down.
You're saying I need to sit down. If y'all see my horse, you tell me where she is. I'll go get her.
Okay, that's not going to be able to. It's not going to be able to happen.
Why?
So passing from Mogrush to get to Sevier, we had to go past the
Temple again.
routes in Nevertiti.
Nesfidi.
Nestidi. Yes, and long story short, it was covered in crimson red. We were with Bar at the time, and we thought maybe it was an illusion. It was bad. We needed to really inspect it. We got there, checked around. It was all covered in blood. We got to the throne room, and she was there.
Thistle was there.
Mm-hmm.
So why ain't she here now?
It's because
He
she
was the source of the blood.
was dead. I'm so.
Who did this?
Oh,
That's
they also
We don't-
kidnapped Bar as well, as we searched the temple.
the only one smidge of evidence. And I'll pull out the napkin with the BS. I'll give it to Duke. I think we all know who it is. It could be a framing, but there's a lot that's happened with this person.
No. That rat bastard little snake has done this. We go back to Brenton soon.
We will.
And when I get there, I'm gonna blow his fucking head off.
You have a
And we'll be
question.
right there behind you.
Yeah.
Did he ever use a weapon similar to yours?
He never used it, no.
Because when we got to that hut, we found that map, and
Show me that map
Someone.
again.
Yeah. Straight away, just because I know he's in a bit of a anger rage.
And you just see him frantically just turn the map over.
Yeah.
And you see him like looking at a very just blank back of the map.
Yeah.
We saw a similar light to yours. And they shot at us. And not just one shot at once.
It sounded like a Gatling of weapons.
So it was a group.
Or it was one big gun that shot multiple times. I actually saw a big silver box, that they put in, and give or take an expression, and then, but a lot. It actually shuts the shack down.
Well, the shack that I left from.
The shack that you left the note at, yes.
Right. Eric made this map.
You know that for a fact, though.
And he just shows you the back of it, and just right at the bottom, you just see like two very faint, like almost engraved pencil marks, just that kind of like cross over each other, but very like haphazardly, like almost like when you do a capital T and you don't care where it meets or anywhere. It's just a couple lines. This is what he used to do on all the maps or designs that he used to do, just so we could track whose was his, whose was mine.
Okay.
That little son of a bitch takes my horse, takes everything from me, and then he does this to you. We are gonna end him.
Definitely.
He helped me before with designs for some of these. And he just unholsters the small pepperbox pistol, the small revolver. He helped me with the starting designs of this. But he had told me he had never, ever wanted to touch one.
They were so far away.
Modifications.
What's that now?
Who was that to?
You.
Seems like he made some modifications.
And how's that?
Well, if you're saying that he helped you with that, either he's found more help, or he's designed some more himself.
Did you ever work on a weapon that can throw a sphere? Say, yay big?
Yeah, I mean, the same things are on ships.
I've never seen a ship up close.
Never seen a cannon on the side of a ship before. That's
I
ideally
live
what.
Too far.
Well, some ships have these little cylinders that shoot out big balls, and they hurt when they hit you.
Yeah, one was really close.
They're called cannons. Now, I don't know if he's designed something like that or
Have you
something to shoot
ever
at
heard
range.
of something launching canisters before? Some gas inside it.
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, that
Does he
happened
find-
as well.
And I also looked at Tara. I don't quite know what it was like, but
It
you had it.
smelled like summer fishing.
Right.
I could feel it in my eyes.
Plenty of things that'll do that to you.
It's true.
It's a green viscous gas.
Nothing I had seen before.
Well, Well, it was new for me.
I don't suppose Theron left his doom whisper well before he disappeared.
No. I think he might have taken it away. Oh, I don't. I don't know. If so, it would be wherever we were before we started getting closer to.
I'm
Think
gonna
he
go
had it
check
with
by
him,
the bridge.
maybe.
It'll be faster for us to travel with them. Yeah, I'll get up and actually go and check.
Yeah. You look around and there's nothing there.
When I make my way back, quickly heading inside. Nothing. Looks like we're gonna have to double up. But we'll get there.
Did you see Eric?
No.
It was so far away. 500 foot away. At best.
I mean, that distance is no challenge for some
So
weapons.
maybe a keen eye for you. We have Uno Dos.
Right. The only thing that I've ever constructed that can cover that range but a single shot at a time is this. And you see him go into his backpack and you hear some rummaging around of other metal against metal, like heavy duty, but also then kind of scraps and a slight like jingle in there before. And you see him pull out this collapsed body of a long gun, where you have the bolt snapped down and flushed completely. The handle or the armrest itself at the end is folded into it.
Okay.
And he pulls out another end, which is basically the barrel, as he begins to screw it on. Just lock out the handle and the rest, and then just cocks the bolts up and just opens it to show you, while getting a small scope out of his back coat, or out the back of his coat, just on the inside, and you just see him just and you see him just going over the weapon and like locking different rivets and small latches. And before long, you see him laying down in front of you, about 4 feet from end to end, a large rifle, ramshackled and haphazard. Looks a little bit more function over fashion.
Yeah.
But it looks
Yeah.
unnerving and
Yeah. Like, this doesn't belong here.
yeah.
What I will do, actually, now that I think about it, now that the brew with the flour in it,
Yeah.
when it cools down, I'll get close to Terra's leg and start sort of rubbing it into the leg.
All right. Terra, it's like a slight kind of like
Yeah.
shock, just the immediacy
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
but
You can
it's
hear
quickly
that.
soothing. Yeah, after that quick inhale, it's very quickly soothing as Rayloff begins to just glide his hand across your knee and around your calf and your ankle and foot with this concoction, and it is very soothing.
Yeah, cool. I'll accept it happily.
So
All the pain.
this is the only long-range weapon that I've ever made. So I don't assume that he can... I mean, this is one shot a go. From that distance. That's hard enough to do. What you're telling me is he had something or other people shoot plenty of times in seconds from this range or further.
At minimum, he shot us 6-8 times. Shot us. He missed a lot.
That sneaky little bastard has been... He's took his time. I think he's still worried about me.
Maybe so. As he should be.
I do remember in the cave there was a message there as well. It said, "No more."
Right.
That's all it said. Maybe
it was a message for you. Do you know why he would put that?
Maybe he's just scared that he knows I'm still hunting. And I'm always around.
Maybe so.
I've always got my eyes on him.
Interfering with his plans. They want us out.
The only thing I can't add up, though, he was never interested in using these things. At all. Something happened before, and he never wanted to touch one again.
If you don't mind me asking, why does he not want to touch it again?
We traveled out. I told him to be careful of the weapon and how to use it. We designed some more or less basic first tries of them. And we came out here. Mine malfunctioned. I nearly ended myself. But I checked his 2, 3, 5 times before we left. His was fine. There came a point where we were a little bit panicked and a little scared. And in the moment, he told me his weapon malfunctioned and discharged. Now, he didn't hurt himself. Oh, he really didn't hurt himself. He took one of our friends away from us. And without a second thought, just began to run and run and run away. That person meant a lot to me. And a lot to him. But he ran. I caught him back up, a sobbing, pathetic mess. He promised me that his weapon had discharged accidentally. I don't think it was no accident.
Do you think he knew something that he didn't want them to know?
I think he knew a lot that he didn't want me to know. I don't know why he'd want to do anything more. He already took what I loved away. And no second thought, just selfish coward ran away. So he was safe. I mean, he just took her away and just left her there.
Sorry for your loss.
I appreciate that.
We'll get it.
But he's clearly putting up defenses or making an offense to get me out. If I see him at the end of my scope, he's dead. We go to Brenton, we find him, he's dead.
That's found me. I do
Yes.
have one question.
Right.
Obviously, you know this land a lot better than us. Well, two questions. One, what's here? Pointing at the circle with the X. Maybe Chick knows.
I have no idea. Sorry.
It's okay. Do you know any other paths apart from here to get over there?
Well, and you just see him kind of just grab the map and point out. Well, you either take the bridge across,
Yeah.
or you want to be heading, and he just trails his finger westward.
Yeah.
You want to head all the way to this lake,
Yeah.
and well, he either better be good at swimming or better be good at walking if you want to go all the way around. But
Okay.
that itself looks like 5 days at least just to get around that entire lake.
I'll turn to Gerald and rail off. I think it might be worth us going back to Brenton.
You know, before Duke arrived, I was going to suggest the same thing. You didn't exactly come off that bridge well.
No.
Why? What happened?
A lot happened. A lot. I thought I lost my leg. We've, as a group, been able to just patch it back up. Neat little fix.
Rough fix, you mean? As I'm
What
just
were you
starting
even
wrapping
attacked
up.
by?
Yeah.
We saw the group. We heard your screams. But what was it?
It was some like terror in my face. I don't know. Some weird slime.
Like a live version of what was on your leg.
I would say so.
You're telling me that some slime scarred you up that much?
It basically crushed my leg.
What you see is after we healed it.
You'll find
Whatever it
the
was.
strangest things.
Whatever it was in the chasm.
And we won't be crossing that bridge at night again.
No.
And we heard it. All the way down there. A good... How far did we travel to the west? It was a good few hours, I think.
To the
wasn't it?
west, it was. I think I remember it was a solid 2-3 hours of travel.
Yeah, I'll
along,
point it to on the map where
Yeah.
we were.
We travelled at least 2-3 hours, and we could still hear it crumbling.
Right.
And we can still hear it from the left.
Well, I mean, at least from what I've been told, this used to be a full body of water running out to the sea, all the way to miles and miles from here to the edge of Graldame, funneling around and filling up the smaller lakes and streams and rivers.
So there's a chance that that river where he says it might not even be there.
You said that whatever it was down in the chasm was slime, right?
I would say so.
My thinking would be if it's filling itself all along what used to be the riverbed, where's it coming from?
That's true.
And he just taps on the map to where that lake is, to the far
Yeah.
west.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another point why we shouldn't go west.
He has
Unless,
the ability to reach that far.
unless you're curious. Want to go see what's happening over there.
Brenton is more
But
important right now.
I don't
Yeah.
think we have the supplies to go there anyway.
Where'd your friend go, by the way? I ain't seen him all day.
We don't know. Shocks
Yes,
of
me
electricity
and him
keep
have-
coming.
Yeah. It appears me and him have switched places.
That's strange.
Especially when it happened.
First, he
time.
just disappeared and came back by himself.
Hmm.
Now I disappeared.
I think y'all are just a magnet for the weird.
Preaching to the
That's-
choir.
Yeah.
What does that make you then?
Does that make me?
Either incredibly weird or incredibly interesting.
Incredibly observant.
So, who is smaller, me or Gerald?
Gerald.
Yeah.
Okay, Gerald, if you want to go with Rayla,
Okay. Yeah, I'm only 5
I'll
foot.
take Duke.
Well,
Well,
anything
he
like
can
you
just
did
have
with
more.
the rope bridge, I'm throwing you off myself.
Wait, what did you do?
Nothing.
He's going to roll an
Just
inside check.
harmless. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not even. Yeah, I'll try and deceive him.
Sorry.
Mine comes out at 16.
Okay. His insight. 17. Just barely.
What you will also see, Gerald, as you say that, you'll see Rayloff staring at you. You'll also hear above you, and only you hear, and start seeing the outline of the dragon start appearing again, and just hear a low growl.
Okay, maybe there was a slight shake of the bridge, and Tara may or may not have been unable to hold herself on.
That sounds about right. Bunch of fools, a lot of you.
She
Well-
wasn't going to die. She has flight magic
I could
boots.
have died. I almost died.
Not from the bridge. From
I
the
could
big
have
monster,
I
maybe.
could have fell into the little monster.
Right, listen, we
Massive
ain't
monster being.
we ain't arguing about this no more. Are we
It's
making a
true.
move, or are we settling down for the night?
We settling down for the night.
Let's just get a bit further away from here, and then we will settle down for the night.
Sounds good to me.
Rayla, can you move that thing that you did earlier? It's still here?
I would assume no.
Once it's put down, it's. What's this?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
just a bit
are.
more comfortable here.
It is. Just complete off sidetrack. Oh, it is 6 hours for a long rest.
8.
8 hours. So we will be cut. So we will get cut. Will we feel the cold again when we wake up, though?
It'll probably be cold when we wake up, yes. Once it ends. It's usually cold in the morning.
If you're waking up past dawn when the sun rises, you're in the crawler's respite. You ain't gonna be cold.
Okay.
Not after a couple, like, some time has passed after sunrise. Before then, I agree, freezing.
But we have coats, we can put them on if needs be.
Well, I shall keep a watch outside whilst you lot start to go sleep. I'll then also bring out the Doom Whisper and go, here we are, Duke.
I'll just, as he's go,
Your very own transport.
I appreciate it.
It's kind of like a lean and go type style. Just go
Right.
with the flow.
Right.
Mhm.
And
as Gerald goes past, oh sorry.
No, good.
As Gerald comes back to sit down, I'll put my hand on his shoulder and just sort of lean in and whisper, I will be watching, so don't mess up.
I'm not going to act stupid now.
I'll just
Leslie?
probably be staring at him.
Fine. Not that you won't be able to see.
You see Duke fold away and dismantle that rifle, and as he's throwing the putting all the parts into his bag as it's turning on the side on the ground. I mean, you hear an audible jingle of different items and objects in there. You see the small glint of the scope. You see a small metal tin just inside, kind of flowing out a little bit as he's getting the rifle in. You see the small metal tin that I think Rayloff you've seen before. And you also see just kind of just falling out slightly, but as he's like shoving everything in, you see this small like I guess small handle. It looks weird. It's almost like two cylinders right here, kind of connected, and both of them they have like slight little things they can depress from the top. It's weird. It's almost like a small like, I don't know. Imagine like a two-way pitton. You know, as you set the pitton into the ground. Imagine rather than just the one slight latch or loop coming off. Imagine two of those, but more cylindrical and handle-like, and connecting together just by haphazard metal onto like a small like round fixture.
Okay.
As he just picks it up and pushes it in, and you do see a bunch of other small trinkets and objects, you know, some bits of leather and cloth surround the bag as well, as he just and latches it up. So I'm going on this thing, right? Right, well, take it easy on me. I don't know all this magic shit.
No, it's fine. We can go slow.
And he hops on, and he just kind of like, oh shit. And you just seem like kind of get used to the turning, leading forward and back, as kind of like abseiling as you lean forward slightly and pull back to slow down. Takes him a few minutes, but gives all of you a chance to gather your things, set your Doom Whispers up, and find yourselves able to join him as well.
We're not resting here first.
Yeah, but
That's what.
So
I
is he
won't be able to
practicing
leave
this,
the
actually?
30-foot sphere that I've made, or it'll vanish.
And as Duke kind of gets acquainted, he just looks back to you, Tara. So, you said we heading away a little bit and then messed up, right? What are we doing now?
That is true. We would have, but in knowledge of Rayloff and having her little area, we can't actually move.
Right.
Because if we do, it will go, and we won't be able to do it later.
And he kind of like drifts the Doom Whisper back over, kind of a little bit more comfortable, still a bit shaky. But then he takes his bag off again, drops to the ground, just looking towards you, Tara. And I thought you were the leader.
The thing is, as I am the leader, that's why I've stayed here.
Oh, you are the leader.
Yes.
The
and
other
also,
reason is that she can't walk, and I'm just gonna add that. I'm gonna finish off tightening the
yeah.
cloth. So I'm sure give it a tug.
Yeah, you feel...
Yeah.
Oh, right, so... A very well-informed leader, I
Yes.
guess.
To a degree, we're in the place of no knowledge, and apart from you now, I would say perceive the best.
Oh, thank the gods.
Oh, I know. Don't you have? Aren't you lucky you got me?
So
I know.
lucky.
I know. So we're gonna rest here,
Right.
and yeah, we'll wake up tomorrow, and we'll go.
Alright,
Brent.
let's go with
Yeah.
me.
In general, no tricks tomorrow. Just straight there.
Great bombing it. Hey,
Yeah.
I can't do tricks. I'm with Raylop. He weighs it down
That-
too much.
Okay, that's fair. Next time, I'll happily rest.
Alright, so all of you begin to settle down,
Throw me bed
get your
roll
bed
out,
rolls
just lay with
out.
Mm-hmm.
Who
I'm
won?
gonna get the winter kettle.
Okay.
I'm gonna start using that to essentially boil some water, just pour it onto the sand of it, let it cool, warm up the sand, and then just start making a nice warm sand castle. Don't know why it has to be warm.
Nice
Okay.
but
warm
it is
ice,
there.
you mean? Unless you're just going outside the bubble.
I'll go outside the thing.
Alright, roll a performance check for me.
Nice. 10 plus 9, 19.
19. After about 15 minutes or so, after you see Gerald boil the winter kettle in his hands and then take it out of the bubble, and just you see with his back to you, and he's just like moving the sand around. In about 15 minutes, you look over as he kind of just, Gerald, you stand up and you're like, and what you see is like a multi-tiered, like 4-towered fantasy fairy tale castle.
Or even given it a drawbridge, dug
Even a
underneath.
small moat and drawbridge, it just encased in just this warm, wet, sludgy sand.
Yeah. What might be kind of weird though is that he didn't quite wait for it to what you would consider cooled down so much.
It's
But he
kind of,
still didn't
he's
seem
coming off
he
it.
seemed unaffected too much by the heat as well.
you still see like steam kind of rising very faintly, especially you, Tara. Rayloff, you kind of catch a few wisps. Both of you, as well as Duke, catch steam still emanating from the sandcastle, as well as Gerald's hands.
I do have a quick question actually. It's a little bit late now, but did I see any sort of reaction, or do I see any reaction from Duke to the sort of ice sort of area?
You didn't notice anything, no. Hey,
I suppose. What?
ain't
You
that
like
hot?
my work?
Ain't that hot?
Well, gotta warm up somehow, don't we?
Give me a hand.
If it cold out here.
And he just
I'll bring it over.
He just grabs onto your hand.
Yeah. It's warm. Yes.
It's very warm.
Isn't that what people have? Or beings?
When you put that water on the sand, you started building. That was near boiling.
It's cold out here. It cools down fast.
You're telling me there ain't nothing going on?
Watch. As I can then just like, I'll cast Prestidigitation to sort of make more steam or warm up my hands even more, essentially. And then I'll cast it again and I'll cool it down again, whilst he's still holding onto it. I'm like, I can adjust the heat.
He's going to roll an insight check. See if there's anything untoward. Insight, that is 11.
At 21.
He kind of looks at you curiously for a second. Right, all that magic shit that I'm never going to understand.
Don't worry. We were surprised. Rayloff himself seems to have some tricks up his sleeve. And we don't have a clue about that either.
Well, it's always good to have something ready and waiting. Right, who's going to take first watch?
You know what? I could do first watch with you if you want to. I can kind of try to catch you up with what's happened.
Yeah,
Oh.
that sounds fine to me.
Really, only one of us needs to take watch each time. For the first 8 hours, anyway.
That's true, but I can't do a lot of standing. And having someone else to, help.
Oh no, we got we
You guys don't worry about it. If someone wakes up, you can replace me.
So what are we saying? Are we following what the leader says, or is it a group decision?
Oh, well, it's a group decision, but out of the group, I'm the leader. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. How do y'all two feel about this? About our leader of this group?
That's fair enough. She wants to do all the main speaking. She could be my guest. I can be the harmless little mascot sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know you well. You
Causing all
definitely
the
ain't
problems.
harmless.
That we'll have
You
to
see this?
inevitably fix.
See these arms? Look at them. Got no strength behind.
Yes, see this leg that is has been crushed.
I get thrown around by Rayloff with ease. I couldn't harm a fly.
You know, it's always the ones that you don't think will ever be able to do anything that do the worst and do the most damage.
Ooh, apart from my words, I can make my words hurt.
Yeah, real hurt. And actions. And even your non-actions. Just your illusion.
Oh, speak.
Just shock over that.
Speaking of that illusion, by the way, I did like the thumbs up.
Eh,
Just want to make sure you're all okay before I approached. Didn't want nothing untoward.
Being honest, we were quite grateful to at least see the flare response.
Yeah, we were a little worried it was the other. It was
It did have a white dot. Yours is a tinty blue. We did initially see a white dot.
Right. Well, all my scopes, and I only have the one, they're clear glass. Ain't no tint to them. The only tint you find is the light that's bouncing off of it.
Okay, well, whatever you
So would I
aimed
assume
at
that-
us was slightly blue.
So would it be safe to say that the scope is stronger on whoever else's it was?
I have no idea. But it was my scope and my light that I was looking at your leg. I thought, what the hell happened there? Then I just had to mosey on over the rest of you just to see what condition y'all are in.
And then you stared at me dancing for a while.
That was weird and creepy. I did not watch.
I did not see that thing waver.
I was observing the area.
If anything,
Well,
I thought I saw more precision.
Well, we're glad you're here, Joker.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me
Four's
again.
better than 3.
As I stand up, I'm gonna go back to my castle a bit, just sort of flick the cape a bit and just smack my ass and say, "Good night, Duke."
As you sit down, you're just gonna see the dragon looking down at you like that.
And
You're gonna see the eyes and the face just staring right at you as you sit down and face out.
We're just gonna stare at it, going like with. Well, because I'm facing away from you, you won't see that it's more terror, but it's definitely like
No, I will
saying
see
stuff.
it.
Oh, you
because
got map. Yeah, can you
I'll
see
see
through
it.
the eyes?
Yes.
Yeah, you will see terror then.
so, Gerald, just as you whip your cape back and tap your ass and wish Duke a good night, all you hear him mumble as he turns back to the rest of the group. It's one weird fucking creature.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I know.
Right, so
And now I'm gonna be with my watch. I'm now just gonna be focusing on drawing like little detailings into the castle with my claw.
now who's going to take first watch then?
It's gonna be me and Duke.
Me and you?
That's the one.
Right then. So, the other two of you begin to settle down and start resting for the night, catching what sleep you can throughout. Is there anything anyone wishes to do before they hunker down?
The only thing I'll do is just get used to looking through the eyes, and just they're still having it, considering it's the first time I've actually properly used it
Yeah.
and not accidentally used it.
Yeah, so you take a few moments to bounce between the vision of the eyes from the top of the dome and then your own, just to get used to that difference in perspective, how it shifts, how it looks, how perspective changes. You quickly grow comfortable to it.
After I've done maybe whatever 20 minutes, half hour of detailing, I'll go back to just lie down. Go back in, lie on the sand there, or icy sand now. And just put my head back essentially, close the
Okay.
eyes there.
Tara, you and Duke are kind of just sat just outside, I'd say about between 5 and 10 feet away from the dome. A little bit chilly, but
Well, we'll have to stay inside, or the dome will go.
oh,
off,
sorry. Okay,
so-
yeah. So I'd say just on the edge then, just on the precipice
Yeah.
of the
That's
dome
fine.
of the section,
Mhm.
and you see Duke is pretty much like sat atop his bag.
Yeah.
And just looking
At
off.
least it's kind of like sitting with Mogwai will be kind of like on my lap.
Yeah, you see him reach in. Okay, you just kind of relaxing. He reaches down and into the open space of the bag, pulling out that small, elongated, like rectangular metal cuboid tin, cracking it open, and you see him just pull out one small little hand-rolled cigar, only about 4.5 inches, nothing crazy, just small little, like almost like a little, like, cigarillo kind of deal. And he just pops it in his mouth and grabs matches from one of his pockets.
What's that?
Well, it's a plant.
Oh,
It's a plant that
what kind of plant?
I'm not too sure.
Instantly, like, what's the forward?
It's a plant that you set on fire,
Yeah.
and you enjoy drawing all of the steam and the smoke into your lungs and exhale, and it really does relax you. You want to try a bit?
If that's okay.
Sure. And he just hands it off to you.
Yeah.
Now go easy on the first puff, though. It'll
How
blow
do I hold it?
whichever way's comfortable to you.
Like, first hour, barely touching the lip.
Mhm.
Do I breathe? You see, breathe it in.
Right. So what you want to do is you want to suck all that smoke in, and then blow it out straight away after.
Okay.
You don't want to go again. That's when you're gonna cough and you cry and you get all snotty, and It's not a fun time.
Okay. Proper full on, like just at the bare just touching the mouth.
Yeah. You see.
Full
Yeah,
inhale.
you see the ember of the cigar just. Usually, with each puff of his gentle puffs, you see it like.
Yeah.
Just like the light of the ember of the end of the cigar just glows
Yeah.
evenly and brightly. With yours, it kind of just very gently glows. But you are just hurling it in.
Yeah.
And you take your mouth away, and it just catches in your throat, and your eyes begin to stream, and you're just holding it out, pushing it further away as possible towards Duke as he grabs it. And you are just coughing and kind of sputtering, and all you hear Duke say is, "Well, I mean, that's why you don't do that."
Am I trying to get another time? But that's
No, you ain't allowed another time. You're down already.
That's so weird.
Now, tell me, you got some tingles right now?
Yeah.
That's good then.
I've had those feelings before, you know.
Yeah.
But not with. Ooh, it's back at home.
Sounds like an exciting life to lead.
Yeah. I think I've got some on me. But give it another time.
Right, we'll save that for a better occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen.
Just trying to catch my breath.
As you're kind of panting and slowing your breathing down, Duke kind of like leans his shoulder into yours a little bit. Look, so are you gonna be okay?
I'll be fine.
Then, as the leader of the group,
Well, yeah.
right, I'm going to tell you this. We get to Brenton. We find Eric.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a hole in his head over and over and over again. I'm going to find him. I'm going to destroy his entire worthless, cowardly little body. Do you understand me?
I understand you. On the sidelines, I'm kind of watching Duke to make sure I'm trying to learn how he's smoking this thing.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah. Perception.
Also,
22.
I will say, as that's happening, I'll just be watching with the ability while I'm still sleeping.
Can you watch
I think we
through
said
the
I can
eyes?
still. I think we said it watches over while I'm sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah, watches over, but not you actively seeing what it's seeing.
Well, okay. What I meant then is that would be the dragon would be watching over.
Okay, no
which
problem.
I would imagine would use my perception.
I would just say as it watches over you, you would be alerted to anything untoward a little bit earlier, so you wouldn't be caught surprised.
And the question, does that mean that really no one needed to go watch for the night? Because you could just do it all. Is that
No.
a question that could be put somewhere else?
It could be. It's more just while in the dome, slightly a little bit more, at least for Rayloff, is able to not technically be surprised if in the immediate vicinity something untoward were to happen.
Okay.
He would just.
So someone would need to keep watch.
Yes.
But he would gain the benefit of not being surprised attacks.
Yeah.
Cool.
It would more be like if I saw that someone was preparing an attack, I would be able to notice that and know something's coming. But it's
Even if
probably
you
not.
were
If someone's going past, it wouldn't
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Able to see you.
Yeah, potentially more to the danger aspect that you would be alerted and you would be forced awake.
Still cool, still cool.
But was
That's
it
fine.
22?
22, yeah.
22. Okay,
18
so
months.
Tara, you get used to seeing just like the gentle, just almost sips of smoke from the cigar as he just like leaves it in his mouth for a second before he just blows it out, and you see this nice full cascade of smoke fill the space in front of him. Listen, I'm sorry that my past has come to you. You know I never intended any of that.
It's fine. I understand. Um, to be honest, like I lived in the forest for a long time. I have had no adventure. I want the adventure, and yes, it's bad, but it is one. And obviously, it's ours, but it's mine. I'm. If it helps you, it helps me. Whatever
Right.
happens,
But if something hurts me, you're saying it hurts you as well.
as I would like to say, friends, it it hits anyone.
Friends, right?
I would like to say so. Are you classing that we're not? Are we something else?
Acquaintances for now.
Okay, so as acquaintances, I would like to make sure that you're okay.
You're the most caring acquaintance I ever had.
Yeah, that's why I'm the leader.
That's why you're the leader.
Exactly.
Right.
Leaders care.
Not all of them. As he just
Oh.
like flicks his cigar over into the sand.
On the floor. When he walks away, I'm going to pick it up, kind of like dust off the edge, and see if it still looks alight.
It's still partly lit, yeah.
I'm going to keep brushing it off until it's no light, and then pocket it.
So you pocket. Make sure you write this in your inventory.
Yeah.
I'd say about a 1-inch stub of one of Duke's small cigars.
Yeah. Still half a cigar. Sound. And I will start walking into, hobbling, I'd say. Like I'm trying to get a new grip off. Slowly introducing weight onto my foot.
Yeah, so you pocket it and you kind of just feel that exhaustion begin to wave over you now as you hobble a little bit further into the space, crawl up, and begin to find
With
your own
the,
sleep.
Yeah,
Mogwai just goes and just like gives you a couple licks just up on the side of your chin.
Yeah. I'll give him a...
And he just cuddles in cozily under the blanket of starlight.
Yeah.
And very soon the night passes. All of you find yourselves waking up to a bright amber dawn sun raining down, almost blinding you, but almost calming and refreshing, albeit the heat now is climbed dramatically by the time you awake. It is a welcome sight from the nightmares of the desert night. And as all of you wake up, finding all of your allies right next to you where they had left you in the night of slumber, all knowing that today is the time you travel back past all of the journey that you have made so far, the temple, hideouts, warnings, and beasts, heading all the way back to Brenton, to find out what's happened, what could happen, and what will happen from there. And all of that is in your minds as you begin to think today. We start out. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. And come back the same time on Monday, 7 p.m. GMT, right back here next week. Well, I'm sure we all want to thank everyone who has stuck around and watched tonight's episode. It's been a blast. So thank you very much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And with all of that said, it was a lot of fun. And we'll see you again next time.